The Little Yellow Digger at the Zoo by Betty and Alan Gilderdale. Too many hippos, the chief keeper said, as he took off his cap and he scratched his bald head. I'm afraid that a number may soon have to go. But the keeper's assistant quite loudly said, No, too many hippos? Oh no, not at all. It's the pool that's the problem. It's really too small. All that we need is to get in a digger to come in to dig and to make the hole bigger. The Little Yellow Digger arrived the next day, and the keepers then took all the hippos away. They were taken along to the sea lion's pool. It was rather a squash, but it kept them all cool. Then the hippo's pool was drained quite dry, and the water sank with a glug and a sigh. The Little Yellow Digger was really quite small, but it started at once to break down the wall, and it worked very hard with a clatter, thump, thud to dig very deeply down into the mud. The digger dug deep and the digger dug wide, till the hole grew so big that it vanished inside. Then up from below came a worrying shout. We're stuck in the mud here. Can you get us out? But the keeper said crossly, I very much doubt we can find a big digger to haul you both out. There's not enough room around the edge of the pool for a digger that's bigger to give you a pull. But a clever young girl who was standing nearby shouted, How about letting an elephant try? And the keeper replied, That's a splendid idea. Send for the elephant. We need it here. So the elephant came with a thumpity thump. It was flapping its ears and swinging its trunk. Then they harnessed it up and they threw a rope down to the driver, who caught it and wound it around. He made loops and some knots that he pulled very tight. That's done it, he shouted. We'll soon be all right. Then the elephant gave a strong tug and a pull, and slowly from out of the wide empty pool the digger appeared. But what very bad luck! It slipped over sideways and ended up stuck. The keeper's assistant said, Leave it to me. We'll fix up a pulley by using that tree. He cautiously clambered along the tree bough and tossed down the rope to the keeper, who now tied it onto the elephant so it could pull that small digger upwards and out of the pool. Could that be the answer? Oh no, not at all. The digger was swinging. It seemed it would fall. It was swaying and dangling high up in the air. It's no good, they all cried. It just can't be left there. We need a strong animal on the far side to pull it right over, the cross keeper cried. But we've no other elephant left in the shed. Well, bring out a camel, the clever girl said. So they brought out the camel, which wrinkled its nose as it snuffled and snorted and dug in its toes. But in spite of the fact that its temper was short, it was tied with a rope that was then made quite taut. Now pull, yelled the keeper. He shouted, Heave ho! And the camel was gently persuaded to go. It tugged on the rope, but the digger still hung over the hole, where it teetered and swung. But at last it was down and they all crowded round, and the driver climbed up onto firm concrete ground. Then they filled the pool, now much wider and bigger, and the elephant washed all the mud off the digger. Then it squirted the keeper, the cross camel too, on the day that the digger came out to the zoo.